What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a compilation album by No Doubt. Basically, this product is called Everything in Time, B-Sides, Rarities, and Remixes, and it came out in the fall of 2004. The thing about it here is the fact that this particular product actually came out as disc 3 on No Doubt's box set Boombox, which came out in the fall of 2000. That particular product came out in the fall of 2003, which No Doubt was putting out like greatest hits products, pitches like that throughout 2003. On that particular album, it had like the hit single on there, In My Life, some of those type of pitches, but really No Doubt had not dropped an album since 2001 with Rocksteady as far as those pitches can happen, which did pretty well, lasted into like the late summer of 2002, but particularly around 2003, 2004, it was within the gist that Gwen Stefani was starting to go solo pitches like that. So this is like the last batch of No Doubt within any sort of fashion until way out in 2012 with Push and Shove as far as those pairs going to happen. But this came out just like a month or approximately a few weeks before Gwen Stefani's solo album Love Angel Music Baby, which I reviewed back in 2023. So minus maybe live albums or pitches like that, this is the last No Doubt album I have to get to within those pitches that has some degree of original content on there. So it's within the pitch as far as saying it's a good excellent concept here. Some good excellent content here to be able to get. This album's going to get another classic score within those pitches. These B-sides and remixes and pitches like that and the rarities, some of those type fairs are pretty excellent within the appeal as far as these tones going to happen. Basically, out of the 17 songs in here, recommend all 17. So Simple Enough gets a 10 out of 10. The real batch behind it is this is kind of like when it says B-sides pitches like that, it's not like these do not have some degree of radio appeal, but there's really no single off this product, and it wasn't that commonplace really promoted within those appeals behind it. I think it was kind of underneath the setting that it didn't want to steal like the... It didn't want to steal the thunder of Gwen Stefani's solo album, which was in the process of dropping around this time. She was putting out singles around this time in the fall of 2004. So it's just in the pitch. It's kind of an after treat to kind of get within that extra kind of facet of that particular fair as far as those pitches can happen. But it just feels a lot more quiet as kept within the format, just a little bit more seldom within the pitch. But there are some notable type songs on here. Not to say in terms of the quality aspect as far as saying that it's not classic, but it's just the appeal as far as saying in terms of some ones that probably on the right day could be like afterthoughts on like the radio as far as this first gonna happen. I mean, this album does have certain degrees of commercial type appeal, but it just doesn't. If you're looking for like a song, like when you think of some of those type ones like It's My Life and like Hey Baby and like Hella Good and some of those type ones and pitches like that, and Don't Speak obviously, and Just a Girl, some of those type formats within the pitch. Some of the songs from Return to Saturn, pitches like that. I need to get around to purchasing Return to Saturn. I have not purchased that one. That's where most of the songs off this album come from. Is just leftovers and B-sides from that particular album as far as those fairs going to happen. Which is minorly unfortunate because it's too bad that there's not more leftovers from Rocksteady, because that definitely had some pretty glitzy type appeal within the aspect. I think this was going back for like the vintage type sound. In a lot of senses, this is like a real tribute to the in a lot of senses, it's like a tribute to No Doubt from like the 1992, 1995, 2000 type era. Just that, and then just that initial first decade that they had, because the pitch behind it, they got a little bit more electronic and pop and rhythmic with their 2001 album Rocksteady. But just as an ode to like their first few albums within those pitches, this album is kind of within that capital type sense of just further type products of just getting it back to like those vintage type vibes. So it does in that sense real successful. Basically nails those appeals without any sort of single off this product that charted. But these songs are pretty excellent within the appeal. So it's just in good context. So yeah, it's just a good 1-2 punch. Get some of these. Obviously picking up this one with the Gwen Stefani solo album from 2004. Some of those type of aspects, but it's just kind of the pitch. These are pretty inspired songs, I'd say. Despite the fact that these are B-sides, just kind of the pitch that these are good looks. It's just a good product to get like B-sides pitches like that. I think more folks should probably have these particular facets about it to be a good product. Just wondering if like folks like Dr. Dre, Eminem, you know, folks like that, Ludacris could have done moments like this just to have had some extra type fairs just to pick up some songs within those formats within how some of that would particularly kind of happen. It's just a good product to get some of these just because in a lot of senses it's just a full-bound kind of capital kind of collection of these songs as opposed to having to purchase these songs individually, or just the concept of having to comprise something on like some sort of custom tip that would be I mean, it's worth the money as far as those fairs can happen. So it's definitely within the pitch as far as saying this has the concept of just getting towards some of these type fairs, just the extra facets that went along with it. But To recommend all 17 songs. Apparently, there was a music video to the song Oi to the World, so as far as those pitches can happen, I'm going to treat that as if that were the single. Now, Wikipedia is not commonplace really talk about the fact that there being really any promotion out this product, but at least it seemed like Oi to the World was like the most popular song according to Spotify that had over 6 million plays. So it's just one of the pitches for us. I'm going to treat that one as if that was the single. So Oi to the World is like a throwback kind of night venue foot taps to like Tragic Kingdom and Beacon Street Collection kind of vibes, pitches like that. This song really gives off like a song vibe of like Excuse Me Mister from Tragic Kingdom, some of those type pitches within format. There's a few of these on here that do have like some good foot tap and bounce type aspects within headings like a dance venue, but it's not within the pitch like a standard. Like when you think of songs like Hella Good and Hey Baby from Rocksteady, some of those type pitches that just have a little bit more contemporary type bounce about them. This is more of just like having a beer mug in your hand, pitches like that, just kind of chunking up. It's kind of being more in rock on type mode and more mingle type mode within the pitch as far as those pairs are going to happen with this. So it's just the aspect as far as saying it's getting towards that particular type of product. So it's just a little bit more kind of within the socialized type fashion, more so than the full bound kind of busted move. But it's not like this is a bad thing. It's just kind of more lounge type music within the dance venue. But it's good type of people do like the aspect they were doing this. Beacon Street Collection, even No Doubt from 92. Tragic Kingdom from late 95, Return to Saturn, some of those type pitches. So just vintage No Doubt. Some of these songs of Everything in Time are pretty good. Like Everything in Time, Los Angeles is a nice one. It's like a syrupy kind of orange skies, kind of soft dredge to kind of get here. It's a nice drift kind of ballad, I'd say, pitch like that, and this definitely has some radio appeal. So this is a pretty nice one for like the pitch. I probably would have said that this product would have had some degree of radio promotion. This would have been a good, nice one to have coasted through like a few dreary kind of orange skies, April, May, June, July's pitches like that as far as those pairs can happen. Just that Tibble type fare, just standard songs. Gwen Stefani with this particular just drear about it just works like a usual type routine kind of ballad grab as far as those pitch can happen. So that's a good type appeal. Then Everything in Time, the London version is just within the same aspect. This one kind of feels like a more kind of early bird type fashion of Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Not, I mean, it has that same sort of facet as that particular song just from the aspect. I mean, it wasn't released as a single, but it has that particular concept, and within the pizzazz of it, it's like a more city and organized kind of real talk. Everything in Time, the London version's like a more city and organized kind of real talk type song than the Los Angeles version, but it's just a good dose of Daedra. So it's just the pitch as far as saying just that kind of it's that big city kind of taste of things just within the aspect of like a makeshift kind of day push within some of that fairs. It's just the pitch. Both these kind of have that particular aspect. I'd say Everything in Time, Los Angeles, a little bit more 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock p.m. and like some orangeness just from the aspect of just like a typical kind of sunset gaze pitch like that just within the makeshift. And I'd say Everything in Time in London, maybe a little bit more 245, 345 pitches like that where it is kind of mostly work shift wrap up, but just at least in my opinion with the aspect as far as saying just the concept of this, like the leftover moments of this tasks of makeshift getting completed within some stuff here. So it's just two good kind of standard makeshift grabs within those aspects of just the midst of commerce, of just like good drear. Keep saying it's lively. Sailing On is a quality one. It's like a leftover kind of underneath it all vibes that I have to say here. This would be a nice one to smoke, like a nice mellow joint two pitches like that. It's kind of some vacay drama, some of those type pitches, and this is just an overall heat type song kind of get. So it's just the aspect, same sort of pitch. When you think of some of those reggaeton type songs, there are ones, like I forget the name of the song that was off of Tragic Kingdom, but usually No Doubt throws one of those on each of their albums pitches like that. It's just that typical kind of reggaeton, just reggaeton kind of beachside disc afterthought and like the hot weather, just great for obviously a real lazy kind of August and July. Some of those type pitches, just the simmering sun, some of those type of feel, some of those type of appeals. But this kind of, it feels like an extra type format, just kind of extra. It's kind of continued spare thoughts and this bonus kind of material within that aspect of just like for folks that. For the aspect of enjoying further the concept of underneath it all and wanting like further aspects to kind of balance that out even further with that same sort of pitch of mine, is continue some of those type flares on here. So it's good type pitch, getting further type moments for that. Panic is a real excellent type one. It's probably one of my more favorite ones on here. I like the appeal and just like the composition of this song Panic. It's like a folk Panic is like a folksy and brushy kind of radio pep, I'd have to say here. Just feeling venturous pitches like that, I'd say with an aspect just a little bit more, not so much like full bound kind of going haywire across the town pitches like that, but just kind of a more wayside, no doubt tune pitches like that. It's kind of like a personal dive, some of those type formats to miss this. So it's just kind of the format of this. It's kind of more homebound. Kind of more up close within the pitch, but just kind of format of disc traverse within the concept, but just like some outgoings within the pitch, of just like maybe more festive type things as far as activities for like the fair amidst like day products pitches like that. So it's kind of halfway makeshift, but just the product of this like some break free as far as figuring out what's going to happen amidst like the late day scene, some of those particular type aspects within it. So it's kind of a personal job as far as not quite being at a dance floor, getting drinks in your system, not quite work shift amidst 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, but just the pitch of just to miss the pitch of figuring out the in-between type moments as far as like standard other type fairs within activities, just within different cycles. Cellophane Boy is another real thoroughly enjoyable type one with an immediate type sense. It's not like these all aren't, but it's just the pitch that's a real nice one here. So Cellophane Boy is like a drifty kind of sunset pier to kind of get within the aspects of it. Just early kind of venue lounging pitches like that. Just those initial first drinks, some of those type of appeals. It's like good for some slaggy work shifts, I'd say. Just the product to just like that typical kind of frustrate. Just the product to head into like that venue. Some of those type pitches within the format. Just kind of that initial type conduct of like, yep, it's been a long day, run up my tabs. Some of those type pitches within the format. But it's kind of more for like, I would probably say 6:15, 6:30, just that initial spark of just getting to that conduct of just switching out of blasé type mood and get to like a more perked up type mood of just that initial kind of shedding of like the day problems from before and just kind of, you know, getting towards a more spiffy type aspect. So it's just a good type pitch for some of that. Definitely how I would get down with that song as far as those pitches kind of happen. I throw my toys around. It's a nice one within these pitches as well. It's like a low-key kind of local brooding to kind of get within the aspects here. Just kind of a sulk type song. This is like a sullen kind of commerce after like a long day. Some of those type aspects within it. It's be a good song to grab some treats to. Some of those type pitches. Easy kind of ice cream in mind for bays and bells as far as those pitches can happen. Just to miss the product to just extra treats. Some of those type formats of disc. Picking up a Twix or something within those relative type formats within the aspects as far as those pitches can happen. So just within the pitch, it just easy kind of frolic or it's kind of a moodier type song, but works within the pitch as far as saying it's the product of just some in-between type moments to have like the fair, just kind of the blasé-ness of it, some good products of it on here, pitches like that, just a good break free. The Real Love Survives is a nice one on here. This does not have Gwen Stefani on here, but this has a chick on here named Miss Dynamite, which is pretty excellent type pitches. I need to see what she's about. This is like a jivey kind of dance floor bounce, I'd have to say about this particular song. It's a dance hall. This would be like a dance hall kind of burnt some by burnt some. I mean, some smokage in your system, pitches like that. Just kind of enjoy the hot weather, kind of fun as far as those aspects kind of go. You know, just enjoy some hot weather, fun pitches like that. Just the aspects of getting turned up, just having the aspect to have like some good torchage in your system within the fair as far as those pitches kind of go. So just a good product of that. I do like some of these type of moments on. Yeah, this is just a good type flair getting that particular aspect within those tones. I definitely think there probably should have been some extra folks on. Would have been a nicer touch to have seen the chemistry that could have happened with Gwen Stefani and Miss Dynamite as far as what's going to happen on Real Love Survives, but it's a nice pitch to kind of get this particular flair about it. Just a typical kind of spice of just like some smokish type fare and just dance floor kind of ness within the aspects. I'd say Leftovers is a quality one as well. It's like a dreary kind of Leftovers is a real quality one on here. It's like a dreary kind of extra thought malaise that I'd say about this particular song. This reminds of like Underneath It All without the reggaeton type vibes about it, I'd say about it, and it's just good for some beat sides. So as far as what's going to happen, just to miss the pitch as far as it's kind of having like that particular kind of vacate type product about it. It's the same sort of aspect of just like that typical kind of summer heat, but it's just to miss the tone. It's just not as like full bound kind of like within the dance hall type vibes of it. So it's just the pitch. It's just summer type aspects, just a little bit more pop grab within the pitch, but it's just kind of the tone. It's that leftover kind of just near oceans, water, some of those type pitches within the form of just tropical drinks in your system. It's not a particular type fare. It's consistent conduct. So yeah, this is kind of this does have some summer bounce on here as far as this pitch kind of happen. There's a number of songs on here that do feel like they probably could be some good single choices as like revamps to like particular formats of just like revisits the previous song vibes as far as what Sparrow's gonna have. So it has that particular aspect about it. I mean, the unfortunate thing within a minor type sense is there's no real retread to like Don't Speak or Just a Girl, some of those type formats. I feel like the Frolic of Just a Girl would have been a real nice one to have gotten within the format as far as something that could have had like that relative kind of jubilant type energy. But for the most part, and for the whole part, it does have like these moments within. There are some dance songs on here. It's not like this album is not fizzy within the pitch, but just kind of pitch as far as saying that this you get like a good taste, like some retreads, which is some good type of appeal. Beauty Contest is a real nice one on here. This is probably another of my more favorite type ones. Like a day after I was kind of saunter to kind of get within the aspect, just some pick. This is good for like some pickups. By pickups, I mean like getting some lighters, getting some standard goodies, some of those particular type formats, picking up like a bottle of gin, something like that. It's like a feeling sparky and awake kind of fun, I'd have to say, within the pitch behind it. Ready for like some turn up pitches like that, and it's a great flip mode type song within the format. So just to miss the pitch as far as saying figuring out what the product's going to be, chirping some folks, figuring out how things are going to get down within the particular format amongst it, just getting ready for some spice as far as those first happen. This really has, this is a more amidst like the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock type scene within the pitch as far as just getting towards the aspect of just like some gnarlement. Some real nice night coziness as far as this fair is going to happen. Full Circle is a quality one as well as like a nice scene frolic to kind of get within these aspects. This basic kind of loud pack noise I had to say here. Just definitely some ambience, good fraternized type tune. This is just vintage, no doubt, within those formats. This goes along with songs like Oi to the World and Excuse Me Mister and Spiderweb, some of those particular type formats. Some of the songs off of Return to Saturn pitches like that, I'd say. So it's just the product as far as getting towards some of these. Some of the singles off of Beacon Street Collection, some of those particular type formats amongst it. So good type product. Big Distraction is a nice one as well. It's like a dusky kind of ska commerce kind of get within these aspects here. Just kind of some surfing, I'd have to say. Just typical kind of Cali glaze, I'd say, within the aspect of it. Just pick up some subway pitches like that. It's good for like an errand run. This one's just more out and about amidst like a Tuesday kind of afternoon pitches like that, or just amidst like something for like 5:45, 6 o'clock pitches like that. It's kind of some extra. It's kind of some extra spare moments within the product. Pretty much goes along, I would say, with Panic, but just not as wayside within the pitch. Just that same sort of particular type fare, just being amidst like spare time with just the product of like personal life type fare, but it's just kind of the kind of being amidst like day scene, but just within product of just like extra kind of not at work, but also not at like a venue either. So it's just the pitch as far as like some spare type fares within it. You're so Foxy is an excellent one as well as like a jivey kind of evening scene embrace kind of get within the aspects of it here. I'd have to say just reminds like the Beacon Street Collection, just a primer for some of those type fare. It reminds of like a Beacon Street Collection kind of primer pitch, just like You're So Foxy reminds of like the Beacon Street Collection, I'd have to say, and it's like a primer for like a late spot as far as what's fair is going to happen. So just a primer for like a late spot, just easy kind of enjoyment. This kind of reminds within minor senses like Gwen Stefani on like her solo career pitches like that. Some of those type ones like I think it's like Bubble Pop Electric, one of those type pitches. Some of those particular type ones that just really has like the glitz and glamour about it within the pitch. Kind of like this would be one that I would say it's like Just a Girl, but just within the format of just more kind of electricity within like the particular aspect of more night venue scene. I feel like Just a Girl's more on like the day scene, 2 o'clock afternoon lunch rush, but this particular one's a little bit more night shift within the aspect of that same sort of energy, but just within the pitch, a more night flair about it. So good type of appeal. Trying to think of some other songs I haven't talked about on here. Another nice one would be New Friend. This is like a perky and energized kind of late scene primer to kind of get within these aspects. It's kind of a work shit flip to like some glitz, I'd say, within aspects as far as this first going to happen. It's good for some brisk nights. So this is like a good 1-2 punch with You're So Foxy. Just pitches like that, I'd say, within the aspects as far as like getting towards some of these type moments. So there is some social glamour about it on here as far as this pitch going to happen, just to miss the product to get towards some of this type sparkiness. Easily songs like Oi to the World, Beauty Contest, Full Circle, You're So Foxy, New Friend pitches like that. So like some good kind of social spices within the aspect. Just some of these do have like the commerce of this weekday type pizzazz pitches like that, where you probably would have to do something the next day in terms of more responsibility type fare, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying just a good kind of spice of just getting towards like, I mean, this continues those aspects of No Doubt from 92 and 95, but just more in like a 2001 type fashion, which is Just more in like a later on type fashion. So it's just excellent kind of just further sparks within those aspects, just being able to nail those vibes. It's a good sparkiness. And I don't think I talked about a rock steady vibe. A rock steady vibe's a nice one, as well as like a bouncy but trippy kind of beachside, real hot out. I'd say some cut loose within those formats as far as this pitch can happen. Just some tropical ganjas. I'd say about this song. This is a nice type of PL. This has particular reggaeton artist Sweetie Irie on here as far as those pitches kind of happen. This is like one of those type ones. This kind of reminds of dislike. This reminds of like Mr. Vegas, some of those type folks, Beanie Man, some of those particular type pitches. Just a real dance hall type, heavy type one with them pitch, real excellent aspects. Just not a single format type oriented, but it is a good, nice one to. I mean, this is kind of a social type song. This is one of those type ones where it would be like a social powwow, where it's not as full bound, where it's just going to be ganja smoking pitches like that. But it's just kind of the format as far as saying it's a good socialized type fashion, and just having like dances nearby, and just the fashion, and just probably like some shish kebab and things like that within those aspects as far as the out and about kind of noise, and just like a standard kind of luau or some sort of powwow type cookout within the pitch behind it. It's great for summer nights, I'd say, within the aspect. New and approved is a nice one, as well as like a good buzz single choice that I have to say here. Just some dance floor embellish, I'd say, within the product of it. It's like a good fizzy get crunk pitch just like that, and a great song to get comfy to as far as the ambience behind it goes kind of within the pitch. Yeah, it's just to miss the ambience of like the Gliss type product, or just like the Tibble type electronica type scene. This is kind of almost within minor vibes, new and approved and under construction, kind of give off like minor type vibes like the Rocksteady album. Maybe not as full bound heavyweight anchors like Hella Good and Hey Baby, some of those type ones, but definitely within the product of that particular type fare, just like some good Gliss and like a snappy type fashion. So it's just some good appeals for some of those type ones, new and approved. And some of these type ones do have the aspect of like some remix type fashions. I mean, I'm not gonna. Looking up on Wikipedia, you can see the formats of which ones kind of went where with which, as to which ones were B-sides, which ones were remixes, which ones were rarities within the pitch, but it's kind of within fashion. There are some excellent moments. There are some electronic kind of snappy moments that work pretty heavily, so I'd say under construction is a nice one, as well as like a glissy kind of late day surfing, I'd have to say here, just going to see a movie, something like that, or just evening scene kind of embellish and embrace pitches like that. Just kind of some sparks as far as those pitches kind of go. So this one just has the product of like a good kind of just scene. This one just has like a good wanderlust type fashion in terms of like date type. Under construction just has like a good wanderlust type fashion in terms of like some date hunger pitches like that, and just the aspect of like some good kind of product of just like late shifts past like 6 o'clock, 6:45 pitches like that within the format. So just a good aspect for some of those. Really getting towards the sparkiness and overall glamour as far as this pitch kind of happen, like the good taste of like some electronic kind of pop fizz within some of formats. This hooky and melodic pitches like that. So there's a number of these songs on here that do have some affable spark, just to pay attention to pitches like that. So I think I talked about every song in here as far as what's going to happen. All 17 of these within those aspects behind it. So the score gets a 10 out of 10. The social score gets a 10 out of 10 as well. Now I look within the fashion that's kind of I feel like No Doubt had enough popularity within the pitch to where this probably should have like some relative kind of attention, but it might actually be like a 9.75 within the pitch as far as the quality, just because the aspects as far as saying that there wasn't a single, and a lot of these songs did not get as full bound kind of commonplace attention. But I look after in terms of the immediate type fashions, there are a number of songs for like some socialized in terms of like some venue kind of glitz. So I feel like this particular glamour is very perky within the aspect of like some social spark. There's some moments on here like easily kind of like beauty contests, Oi to the World, Full Circle, I'd say like You're So Foxy, New Friend, Under Construction, some of these type ones, New and Approved. I'd say pitches like that. At least half the damn near half the album has some of these particular moments like some Friday type sparkle within pitches like that, and some of these are venue moments like vintage kind of No Doubt vibes from 92 and 95. There's some good date type scene and makeshift type moments on here as well within pit. There's like some good date night primers on here as well, and makeshift kind of leftover moments within the flip mode of it as far as switching those particular moments easily. Songs like the Everything in Time type tunes, pitches like that, and then I Throw My Toys Around. Some moments like Big Distraction, some of those particular type fares about it, and Panic, some of those type moments that do have like the embellish of just going from conduit as far as figuring out, alright, not at work, but just the conduct of not just having other things in mind. They're not just drink centric or just dance centric, just the pitch as far as figuring out, just having like a gist of something kind of within the product of like activity. Has those particular type moments. Also, just further type flavors of just some dancehall type modes and summer type bops for like vacay type tunes. So pitches like that, pretty ganja centric or just at least tropical type vibes. But that's because like some good summer cut loose get tans pitches like that. So I'm gonna say just the impact of it, just the compaction, the fact that these were not main songs and these were kind of leftover songs within pitch, just the quality behind it. I'm gonna give the social score a 10 out of 10. But in terms of the future, like No Doubt has basically, they don't actively drop music anymore, but I've covered everything that they've done. So I think within the aspect, a number of these have been pretty vicious albums within the pitch. There might be like a live album or something like that, but for the most part, I think I've pretty much covered every No Doubt song, minus maybe like some sort of unreleased. It might be like one or there might be like one or so other product that has like maybe a few other songs pitches like that. For the most part, I've covered all, particularly 7 or 8 of these No Doubt albums within the pitch. I just say the only thing left is just to get to Gwen Stefani's solo material, which is going to be in the same playlist. So just pitches like that. Definitely some classics, obviously. You know, 90s staples, Tragic Kingdom, Beacon Street Collection's pretty damn good. Rocksteady has some real good contemporary bounce about it. Return to Saturn definitely has like some slinky kind of dust glazed glamour about it from what I remember from 2023 or early 24. Or what I remember about it from 2023 or early 2024, pitches like that. Push and Shove really had some nice moments on there. It was like a retread. That was not a bad project. They didn't fall off like so. Like supposedly what contemporary folks thought. Like supposedly what folks think about certain artists after a good while, after like a certain point, and like the aspect of it, they didn't. And No Doubt from 92, which I have reviewed, which by this stage you'll probably seen that one. It'll probably be winter by the time this particular review comes out, but yeah, No Doubt from 92 came out in like the late summer as far as this pitch can happen on this channel, so this is pitch, that's a pretty nice one as well. So just a pitch, plenty of these classics off that appeal, so check out the playlist, plenty of those particular type products. Easy kind of continued clean sweeps for easy kind of continued clean sweeps for No Doubt as far as this pitch can happen. Just a dynamite type album, just plenty to do.